Hello and welcome. My name is Tom.
And I'm Heather.
And you're watching The Couples Table.
The Couples Table is a live stream podcast here on this channel. Join us for better or worse.
For richer or poorer.
In sickness and in health.
Even when we gain a little weight since the past week.
Get a little buff.
I, got a little swole.
So I'm trying to figure out,
Ate some extra meals.
Why does it look different? Is it just me? Can you turn on all the light?
I don't know. Maybe I messed something up.
No, I think you got it. Okay.
did a
Anyway,
good
sorry.
job.
Hey, everyone.
Hi.
Hello. Check out our swag. So I think we mentioned this a couple tables time ago. Anymore. Yes. And we got our jerseys yesterday. So now we're wearing them. And Tom decided to put his chest protector on. So actually, he just got buff.
Yeah. What do you mean? What? I don't know what you're talking about. This is my natural form.
Kyle McKenna is here. Hello. Is it Friday yet? Tech Troublemaker says, I still have another hour of work. Parker Jennings in the house. Kat Mulvihill. Hey. Audio hotline. What's up? Pete Breen says, I practiced my tone puns this week. Visited Elgato. Rode my bike. I love it. Tom got buff. Rio Pell Room in the house. I hope Tom wears those pads the whole time.
What pads? I don't get it.
Did you hear NASA is building a new rocket to send to space to ask aliens our forgiveness for past mistakes in space? The rocket is called the Apology.
The Apollo.
Dun, 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 dun. Call me Covey. Hi, Ernesto's here. Happy Friday. Be your own nerd. Happy Friday. Heather, Tom, and everyone.
There we go.
And Kyle's laughing. How are you?
Hot.
I don't know if he's gonna. Are you gonna stay in this the whole time?
Put your hand not in it, but just right here. But you can feel heat coming out of there.
I don't feel heat coming out of there.
I really feel radiating.
You radiating?
Ooh, Radiator Springs over here. But this is actually relevant to something we're going to be talking about today, other than just like we got cool jerseys for our hockey team we started.
So today we wanted to talk a little bit about some updates about the small business creator name TBD.
Yeah.
Name TBD. So 2 weeks ago, almost 2 weeks ago, put out a video. I think everyone here knows about it. We've been talking about it on the Couples Table multiple times. And we kind of just wanted to give an update in terms of where we're at. We're going to change the name. We still haven't figured out what the name's going to be. We did change the name. I'm not sure if we talked about it on the last Couples Table.
I don't think so.
Okay. So we went from small business creator to professional independent creator.
Mm-hmm.
Really proud of that one.
It's a good one.
I really like that one. We're going to change it though, because we have decided that it's got to be a name that doesn't have an association, like a preconceived notion.
Right.
Just like if someone says the word influencer, immediately, like regardless, like everyone has something that they picture, and it could all be wildly different.
There are existing connotations.
Yes.
Sometimes competing. It's hard to reach my face, but okay.
And then same with creator. Tom is convinced that the word creator can't be in there because it's just
talk about a word with baggage.
Yeah, So I think from the feedback that I've gotten, and I'm sorry if I haven't responded to everybody, I've had quite the week. But last night I finally got sleep, and I feel so refreshed. Thanks, Kat. But yeah, so what was I saying? Creator, the name.
Couldn't have creators.
Yeah, I haven't gotten everyone's feedback, but based on what we've gotten so far, I'm thinking that if you have heard us talking about this for the past couple weeks, and as the conversation continues, we have the feeling that whatever it ends up being called, it doesn't even really matter, because if you're on board, you're on board.
Right.
And if you're not on board, you won't even give it the time of day, because there's no association between like, oh, that's a creator group. What is this about? No, if it's something like Ogopogos, you're not even gonna be like, that's something I'm interested in. Not even gonna give it the time of day. I'm hoping you're only gonna give it the time of day, based on the philosophy behind it, and that's what we want to talk about today. So yeah. Anyway, checking in. Matt Ruff is here. Hello.
I wonder
from Music
what's
City.
in your B&H order.
So YouTuber and influencer aren't positive terms. I am a content creator. I think what we're trying to do is not come up with a new term in terms of like, in the grand, like the bigger discussion that is the creator space. I think that's what I initially thought we should have done,
because that was the thing is like, if you have a massive channel, like a Mr. Beast size channel, he's a creator.
Yeah.
And if you have someone who clicked create channel today, they're a creator.
Yeah. And that
it's all this one term for so many different things,
that's just wrong. It's
yeah.
Yeah. And that's why I took the like differentiating based on company size, because yes, Mr. Beast is a creator, but he also employs like, I don't know how many people, and
many
has a totally different budget and all of those things compared to like the one person creator. But I almost, I'm going to make a video with more like a formalized explanation of the updates. I just kind of wanted to we'll have a discussion about it, but I don't think it's worth trying to come up with a term. How do I explain
it's
this?
Like recombining existing terms, like content creator, like I think.
Yeah, YouTube creator, YouTuber, like I think everyone, like the existing terms that are out there can just be out there. But what I want to do is like make a thing over here where really I don't really care what people think, but if we're together doing our thing, helping each other level up and supporting each other over here, like that's what matters to me.
So in your original video from a while ago, a big point was like representation and having a seat at the table, right?
No. Yeah. Yes, it was.
It was.
That to me was the most important part, because this came about because we were at a talk at NAB, the State of the Creator Economy, and I was sitting there just, no, like this is not relevant, and I stand by that. This is not relevant. This is not, if you were someone like us, that is not, I don't know how else to say it.
It just wasn't it.
It just wasn't it. And I think even if, say, 100 of us, 1,000 of us, of this type of creator that we're talking about, got together and someone, I'll just say me, talked regularly with this group to understand the needs and, where we're coming from, and then went to that talk. It's like, you don't really even understand unless you are part of this group anyway.
Right.
And I think that was the biggest thing, is like, no one on that panel was a content creator themselves in terms of the type of content creator that we're talking about.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think like I've gotten tons of feedback, and they've all been great ideas in terms of like, I've heard the word union several times, which by the way, I think there's 2 organizations that are trying to do something that's union-ish. One is called the Creators Guild of America, and one is creators.org, which Renee from the panel reached out to Tom and I, and we were able to chat with her, and she's the one who told me about those two organizations. So if you're interested in that type of stuff, there you go. But that's not what I want to do. And I just don't. I feel like the thing that I really care about, especially after NAB, was seeing how powerful it was for like-minded, and like not even just like-minded, but having like seeing someone else, a successful one-person creator, doing their thing, even if it's totally different. I mean, even because it's totally different, it's great to be able to hear their side, see how they approach things. And no one else really needs to know, like the creator economy, all these people, like no one else needs to know that except for the people in the group. So it's not about representation.
It's not about having a seat at the table. It's about just setting up your own table.
Yes. There you go. Which you can talk about this now, but let me check in with the comments. Let's see. Yeah, so much baggage for so many terms. He ate his sleep. Kyle, sidebar, is your PO box still accurate in video description? And is it actually 44100 or 44100? Actually, either one with the hyphen or...
Yeah, it doesn't make a difference.
Yeah.
But that probably will be changing in a month or two because unfortunately our super awesome place where that is closing.
I know. We just
They're like
found
the
out
coolest
yesterday.
people. It's so sad.
So, yeah, if you want to say something or send something, you got to do it ASAP. Level up with Mike. Hey, everyone, check out the jerseys. Even match Heather's hair. Okay, we have to tell the story about the jerseys. That smoke machine and the new hot shoe mount from DJI Sony
Sweet.
camera.
That'll be fun.
Ben is here. Hey, just register that Tom has hockey pads on. I didn't even question
What?
it.
I can move my head without my body really moving.
Creative content strategist.
CCS.
You know, one thing that we did on this journey to figure out a term is like Chat GPT has been so helpful. Like, give me 10 terms to refer to a content creator, and it's just very interesting. Andre, here I am tuning in. Discover I missed out on being a dressed up party. I have a desire to slap pucks at Tom right now. That's the best. Okay. So, do you want to talk about the Ogopogas as it pertains
Sure.
to what we're trying to do
But
here?
as Mike said, matches, I did want to point out I had my mask painted last season, so actually before we had these. And I just would like to point out how
You're putting it on. He's putting it on, everybody.
how perfectly this matches. Come on. Like,
okay, hold on. Let me
that's
see.
pretty
Hold on.
It's pretty cool. It's probably not best for audio for me to be in here. Oh, my top pad is missing, but
Your top pad.
are you doing my there's a little like sweatband in here. Yo, there we go. Look at that. Look at that coloring. Boom. It's like it was totally intentional, which it kind of wasn't and sort of was.
It looks great.
Yeah. Oi. There we go. Hello. And I got my Aquabat
Can
on
you
the side.
change the...
Oh, I was like, you just stick with this angle for a while. All right, there we go. I can tell a story, and then I might have to change my clothes because it's hot.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Where do we begin?
I think you guys should have theme outfits for every couple stable, says Chris in progress.
Hey,
and
Chris,
you know what?
I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, it's good to see you. And Kathy's calling us twinsies.
Nice.
I love the idea of
We only have so much wardrobe.
theme things. Yeah.
But
okay,
yeah.
but anyways, let's tell the story.
Sure.
Okay.
Where do we begin?
Why start a team?
Okay, yeah. So Heather and I learned how to play hockey last year. We have been learning how to play hockey since the beginning.
I promise
of
this is
2023.
relevant.
Yeah, I know. And I know we talk about hockey all the time. It's relevant. So we took some classes, did all that kind of stuff. My hands are so tiny when I'm high.
Oh, there we go. Just feel
You look
comfortable.
cool. We took some classes, we did some stuff, and then last fall I wanted to start playing in a league, so I joined a team. And we actually started a new team. And it's the beginner league. At our rink there's an A, B, and C, C being like the entry level one. And so we started a new C League team, and it was fun. It was basically just people from like the Learn to Play classes we were in who were like, yeah, I want to join a thing. They needed another team so that there were enough teams to actually play each other throughout the season. And we started a team. We played the whole season. We won one game in the whole season, but we had so much fun. And a cool thing with it was like, a thing that I was proud of was we were a true beginner team. No one on our team had played an actual like reffed period of hockey before the season started. And the other teams sort of had a mix, which is fine. But there were a lot of other teams that were bringing down players from the A League and the B League, which is now a rule that you can't do that anymore this season. So it's like we were the beginner team with people who are like really just learning, and you're playing people who've been playing for 25 years.
Oh my God, Mickey. Our captain is here.
Hey!
What up, Cap?
Interesting that you tune in on this specific one.
What's the website again?
ogopogoshockey.com. But yeah, so anyway, here you go. Maybe Mickey could weigh in on this. But basically, yeah, we started a thing, and my experience was it was awesome. It's a rec league, right? It's a recreational league. You don't need much more than that. You show up and you play hockey once in a while. And, it's a chance for a lot of people to just sort of have a break and do something fun and try something new. It's a certain type of person who's going to be, heading up on middle age mostly and decide to learn something new that's physically exhausting and strenuous and stuff. And so the season was great. But there were just a few things that kind of like, I don't know what you would call it, irked me or rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. I was kind of like, okay. And it was pretty early on last season that I was like, you know what, it's been very cool to see how a team starts from the beginning, because even a team that the basics is just like, we just want to play the games once a week. There's a lot to organize with rosters and game attendance and positions and trying to figure out strategy and ordering jerseys and the whole deal. And that's just the bare minimum to like play.
Yeah.
I was like, that it was cool to learn all that, but it'd be fun. Like one day, what if like there was a team that sort of did a little bit more, and Mickey's team that he was on, they were a local pride team that they were so active at community events and stuff. And I loved that. I was like, oh, they're still a team even beyond the 1 hour a week that the game is. And I thought that was really cool. I was like, okay, something like that would be kind of neat. So the season ended, and there was me and another goalie on my team, because we both started learning at the same time. And most rec league teams, beer league teams don't have two goalies. They struggle to find one. But we were like, at the time, we didn't even know if we could like make it through a whole game or anything. So we just split the games all last season. But by the end of the season, we were like more than capable of doing a full game. And so it was like, okay, I'm going to leave and go start a new team. And then there's still a goalie on my team. And then we need a new team anyway, because some, like Mickey's team who's here, his got bumped up to a B League thing, because most of the players there were pretty experienced. And so like there were shifts in the league and we needed a new team. And so we decided to start one. And so Mickey and I ended up talking, because we ended up being kind of like the homeless, the unhoused C League players. We're like, we should start a new team. And the thing that we kind of pitched was like, well, what if it was not just like a team to play hockey, but it kind of like, I knew how hard it was for me to just get my foot in the door. And, I had multiple points where I was going to call it quits and stuff. What if it was something that was a little more welcoming to beginners, a little more, maybe a little bit more open to, different kinds of diversity and skill levels, and wanted to be active outside of the rink, wanted to, really kind of bond as a team, perhaps even venture out into like community involvement and all that, like just something that's a little bit more than what you would normally expect, which is a certain kind of person that's going to be interested in that sort of thing.
And I think especially for me, because I wanted to play on a team too, but I have never played a team sport, period. So just wrapping my head around, there's a lot of mental stuff that goes on with sports in general, which I am learning, but also a team sport, right? And so I'm learning like, how to deal with never scoring a goal or losing every game, or my skills aren't where I want them to be. And I feel like in an environment where it's competitive, for me, I could easily be discouraged. So it's so much about the people that you're around. And thankfully, there is a women's class at our rink, and everyone there is like absolutely amazing, like just so positive, so encouraging. It's like, I didn't even know that you can find these people, as an adult, because it's just
it's like a cheat code to making friends, because everyone always says making friends as an adult really hard.
It's so hard. Yeah. But like, just, I mean, I think I hope that everyone has felt this before, but when you're trying something new and you're with other people who are also doing it too, and they're just having fun, then it makes the whole thing fun. And I think that's what you guys were trying to do.
Yeah. Because, there were times throughout the last season where, previous teams, things got a little chippy, a little too
heated
for my, it's 9 p.m. on a Tuesday, everybody.
Yeah. Okay. So
there's not a lot of glory to be had. So it was just Mickey and I came up with a thing, and our local teams are all like mythical animals. It's like our local team is the Firebirds. They feed into the Seattle Kraken. It's a lot of that kind of stuff. And so Mickey was like, what if we did like a cryptid? And I was like, hey, Google, what's a cryptid? It turns out like a mythical thing. So like a Bigfoot, a Kraken, those types of things. And I just looked up like a list of cryptids, and I saw the word Ogopogo and thought it was the funniest of the names. And so I think I pitched that in the thing to Mickey, and then we were leaving as like a class or something one night, and I was unsure if I liked that word or not. And then he said it. He was like, I really like Ogopogos. And as soon as he said it, I was like, hearing it out loud, that's a thing that works. Basically, it's like a sea monster that is native to Canada, which is very funny because we found that we have multiple friends who are have family histories on the specific lake that the Ogopogo originates in, which is funny. So it's almost like a Canadian Loch Ness monster, you could say.
And you guys just had
It's just me and Mickey. Yeah, we just went to a Starbucks and we're just planning the whole thing out.
Yeah.
But we knew there were a lot of people from the women's class who were ready to play on a team, but they didn't have a team or didn't even know where to begin. And we knew a couple players that, we knew a couple people that were also they had nowhere to really go, and they didn't really want to jump into a formed team. They were unsure of their skill level. And so we're like, okay, that's perfect. There's more than enough of those people to start a team. And so,
but the thing is, what you guys did was you didn't just start a team.
Yes.
You set.
So we actually drafted a mission statement.
Yes, which I don't think any who does this. Okay.
Yeah. So
Tom does this.
We drafted a mission statement, and that was the thing that we shared first. So it wasn't like new team, sign up now. It was like, here's the mission statement, which is quite specific, and we sort of figured, if someone reads this, goes through this, and then goes through the effort to send the email, they're on board, because we knew people we could kind of invite, but we didn't want to be, we also know people, we don't know what we don't know, and we didn't want to just exclude a bunch of people accidentally. So we wanted to post something around, but we wanted to make sure, especially knowing the people we wanted to invite, we didn't want to then end up, a bunch of people are in the wrong place for them, and then it's a bad experience for everybody.
So here's the mission statement. The Ogopogos are a welcoming hockey team committed to fun, growth, and inclusivity for beginners of all backgrounds. We emphasize teamwork, respect, and sportsmanship, both on and off the ice, and strengthen our community through active involvement, believing in the power of hockey to make positive local impacts. So right off the bat, it's not just about hockey.
Yeah, and we did have people who messaged us going hey, interested in the team, and then we would send them this, and they'd say, okay, thanks,
bye.
I'll go find another team.
We're not
which is perfect.
Yeah.
Which is perfect, because it was if you're the person who does just want to show up, play your hour of hockey a week, leave, and not think about it again, that's totally cool. Totally cool. That's just not what this is for. That's what, there's plenty of other places for that as well.
You guys wanted to create the thing that you wanted to be a part of.
Exactly. And the thing that happened is we got to the point where we had to turn people away.
Yeah. It's the best team ever, basically.
Yeah. We not necessarily on the scoreboard yet.
First game was 0-13.
Look, 56 saves of 69 shots on goal. Yes. All right. That's pretty good.
Good job. Good job, goalie. But check this out. Okay. So, of course, Tom.
I built a website.
Okay.
I just, though, if everyone here, if I recognize this, I just duplicated my personal website. And
got the mission statement here up top. There's news if you want to follow along.
Oh, you can play. There's our first goal from last week.
The first goal.
Actually, I don't know if you want to play that now or not. It's just a quick clip from Live Barn, which is it's almost like a security camera that hockey rinks have that you can watch games on. But it was, our score was 11-1 or something, 12-1 last week, something like that. So that was the first goal we ever scored. And we scored it in the third period. We knew we weren't going to win the game. But as a team, we were it's not about winning the game right now. It's about like, let's see if we can score our first goal. So all of us, let's do whatever we can to score our first goal. Just minutes later, scored a first goal. And you can see the excitement from people of, I don't know, late teens to late 50s on the ice.
Yeah.
After this,
super
the
fun.
other team was cheering because it was like,
See if you guys can see this.
yeah,
already.
let's see. And actually, it's Mickey. Okay, so this guy has the puck, and then Mickey in the chat is running down right now to get it. That's Mickey.
That's Mickey.
Hits it. It goes through everybody, and then there's one of our team members
Right
who
here.
gets it. Boom. We didn't have our jerseys yet, so we're all wearing just makeshift jerseys. But like, I mean, you have professionals, you have college students, you have parents, you have, important members of the community there tripping over themselves with excitement over a one goal in a hockey game.
It was like Mighty Duck status, like just like
we're still at like the District 9 level or whatever they're called before they're the Mighty Ducks. That's pretty cool.
yeah.
And that has kind of been the vibe. Our first game, the one that we lost 11 to what?
There were so many people who showed up to watch.
Yeah,
us.
there's not a huge amount of like spectator
like,
space at our
why
rink, but it
are
was
there
completely full on a weeknight.
There's so many people here.
And we lost. I was like, all right. And they still like they wanted people from our team to like sign their pucks and take photos.
Yeah, like
and
kids were coming up to the glass and trying to fist bump
like,
me. I was like, what is happening? This is so bizarre. And not even kids I knew. Like,
and they didn't care about the score. It was almost like the excitement of the team, what the team was doing, was also theirs.
so here's how it relates.
Yeah, here's why that's relevant. So
You go ahead.
okay, I'll go ahead. So we talked a minute ago about like originally you made a video that was talking about having representation at the table, having a seat at the table when it comes to
Yes.
creator economy stuff, and then realizing it's not about representation, it's about setting up your own table.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
what we ended up doing with this team, because it was one thing like Mickey and I had this idea, and then, like you joined the team and the other people, and we have another. My A doesn't just stand for awesome. It's alternate captain. We have another alternate captain who's like phenomenal. Everybody had to buy in. It was very similar to starting like the digital media programs I used to teach at. I can make a logo and like a mission statement, but if no one else cares, it doesn't really matter.
Well, that, and I feel like it would. Let's see. There's definitely something different about this team, and I'm not just saying that because we're part of it, but I think it would have been hard, if not impossible, to try to bring this spirit to the existing teams, right?
It's
and so
also
that's kind of what made me think, like, why bother going to the other locker room, trying to get everybody to? Why should I go explain? Like, wouldn't it be more fun? We do it this way. We're this type of person. We care about bonding and friendship and diversity. Like, why would I go to the other team? Like, if they're, it's not saying that they're not about that, right?
Right.
But when you say that, like, here's our mission, here's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
And
if you agree to these terms, click accept.
And then, like, the right people kind of gravitate to it, then something awesome can happen.
Yeah.
And that's like, just by chance, this is all happening at the same time. Like, we got back from NAB, the team had their first game, we got our jerseys last night, and I think we were at happy hour, and I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, why am I going to explain? Like, why bother going to explain when the people that I'm talking to already get it? We know that we create content because we're driven by an interest. We're driven by our passion. We are able to connect with people for whatever reason, feeling less alone, being able to teach someone something that they didn't feel like they could do before, like all these things that drive us. Yes, this is our business. Yes, we get paid. Yes, we have to understand the game that we're playing of YouTube and analytics and creating good content and lighting and audio and all these things. But there's just so much more beyond like stuff that was talked about at that talk in terms of, oh, I guess this is trending, so now we have to do that. No, right? And for me to explain that to them, it's just a waste of time. When let's set up our own team over here.
Yeah, and I think another important part of it is reminding and acknowledging that the other is the other group's not doing anything wrong.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Like the former
Not
teams that
doing
I was
anything
on
wrong.
was
Right.
they're doing exactly what rec league hockey is for. Like they're
Yeah.
coming and playing and having fun. You know, some of them take it more seriously than others, and whatever.
Yeah, if people
That is
if creators
completely
have
fine.
big teams, great. If there's people who just want to create content, doesn't even matter what that content is, great. If there's people if there are people who are doing it differently, that is totally fine. Both can exist at the same
Yes.
time. Right now, this does not exist. There's no
Right.
team for this. There's no table for this. There's no room for this. So let's set something up.
Yeah, and if you try to like explain or convince, then you end up making other people feel bad, like they're doing something wrong, or
Right.
or you're trying to convince. It's just like if they have no interest, it's just a lose for everybody.
Yeah.
Versus just go
Exactly.
start your own thing. And
Yeah.
I mean, this has been crazy. Like we are 2 weeks into the summer season, and there's already multiple people who are like, okay, I'm gonna be ready to sign up in the fall because can't add anyone to
People
our
are
team anymore
asking
at
for
this point.
T-shirts. It's a whole.
Yeah, I'd be like, do you have merch?
It's a whole thing.
Dude, we have one goal in our team history.
Which is talk about the power of it, right? Like, our rink is relatively new, but there's been hockey leagues. Like, it's not a new thing. But
No.
for some reason, it feels like people are just discovering this because of this team, which is like, I have this inkling that I feel like if you're a content creator who falls into this group that we're talking about, I think you'd be super into it. But also, I feel like later down the line, I can see how viewers would understand that this group exists and what it stands for, and it would mean something to them, right? Like, okay, if you are a member of this group, then you do have integrity when it comes to working with sponsors and handling all of that, right? Paid promotions and free stuff and all of that. Not that
other people don't have those things, but it's kind of nice. Like, oh, I've already, like the values that we have on our hockey team.
Yeah.
Everybody on the team, you just know that they're on board with that.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean there aren't people on the other teams that are also on board with those things, but you kind of have to then figure it out on a case by case basis versus like, here's just this whole group. I got it done.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing.
Yeah. All right, let's check in with the comments.
And then I think I need to change because I'm getting a little stinky over here.
Yeah, well, do you want to change now? Or I can just go through the comments.
Well, I want to see the comments first.
Okay. Let me see. Privy Mai is here.
What up?
Hello. It's hard to make new friends later in life.
Let me tell
Yes.
you, this has been the cheat code for sure.
Mike says, Heather, your hockey experience sounds a lot like YouTube content creators struggle. Great perspective to have, always feeling less than everybody else, but the community experience is awesome.
Right.
Yeah. Yay, Canada. FaceTime with grandchild. See you later.
Nice.
Bye. Andre, so you are rediscovering how we all used to get new friends back in the pre-internet days then. Not making fun, but it is interesting how easy it is to forget. It's a whole world out there.
Well, yes, but I was a kid pre-internet and I didn't join sports because I didn't feel there was no place for me to belong in a sport.
I didn't play team sports.
Yeah.
It didn't even cross my mind because
I got laughed at. I got made fun of. My last memory of even anything remotely team related was doing like PE volleyball in high school. And I was trying so hard to like hit the ball, over the net in the correct direction, but I kept popping it up and backwards. And I was really trying not to. And then this one senior student, I was a freshman, like shoved me and told me he was going to break my nose if I did it again.
Oh my
and
God.
I was like, I don't like sports. This sucks. Like I'm actually trying my best. And this is the thing.
Right. See, and that's the thing. Like, I mean, yeah, there's so many things. I don't want to create an environment where people, especially in like content creation where so much of it is you. It's you, right? And I think getting like-minded people together, but a diverse group of like-minded people. I'm not saying like, hey, we're all in the same niche, let's get together. No. I feel like the diversity is important, but we have these values in common.
Yeah.
Let's see. Can I join the team even though I live in Virginia? I can
quite
be Sam.
Quite a commute over there.
I'm stealing that verbatim for my team.
Enjoy it.
You mean right of the stick, I guess. Gotta get the lingo straight. Cat's joining the fan club. Under the team tab, Heather does not have a picture in her gear. Yes, because we just got
these came in yesterday, so we're gonna do official team photos.
Yeah.
Something I'm really proud of is with my last team, Heather took the photo before a game. We all went out really quick on the ice and like tried to pose, and she took a team photo and I edited it together and it came out
so good.
Awesome. Like it looks so legit, and then put the names and, you know, the logo and everything. And I really want to, but we did that in our second to last game. And I really want to do that now.
Yeah.
Like now that we all have our actual gear.
We have a brand new player who scored her first goal this past week. It was epic, and the whole bench went wild. The other team was looking at us.
Well, at our first goal here, I mean, the other team was literally cheering too.
Yeah.
Like, because the thing too is like the thing to remember is it's so easy in something like this, so easy, same in content creation, to create an us versus them mentality.
And that's totally not what I want to do.
And especially,
if I come off that way, like that is not what I mean to do. Again, like at the end of the day, we are all part of this space.
Yeah.
And I think all ships rise with the tide. I just feel like if we made our own table within the tide,
it could also rise.
I feel like we would get support in a way that we are not getting right now.
Yeah. And the
to put it very simply,
the hockey game is a microcosm of that, because you see it's two small teams together, but outside of these games, it's all people who live in the same community, you know, go to the same, you know, pro games, go to the same classes. Like, you know, we all skate together and are friends outside of this. Why do we need to pretend like we hate each other just because we're wearing different colors right now, you know, or we have a different approach to what we're doing? Both are fine.
Making one's own table. If enough people gather at a new table and start talking really loud, people will notice and will not miss out, and over the time people at the other table will notice.
100%.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's why it's like, I feel like that's so much easier, so much more fun than trying to go to their table and explain. You know, like, how can I explain something that you're not going to understand? It really has to be something that you have to see it for yourself.
You gravitate towards.
Yeah. You know, it's like, I mean, one example, because I feel like so much of the conversation when it comes to, this is why I made the video, right? I feel like so much of the conversation is just aiming for the never ending hamster wheel growth of infinite views. That is the only path to success. So when someone,
real quick, sorry, I'm like melting.
When someone like who's even like at a 900,000 subscribers, like I got a comment on my last video I think this guy had like 900 something subscribers, and felt like people would question him, like, how come you don't have a team? Or when are you going to have a team? When are you going to scale up? When are you going to do this? And it's like, why is that the only thing that every content creator has to aim for? And again, not saying that what everyone is doing at the other tables is wrong. I just feel like we should go set up our own table, right? All right. Let's see. Now I want to buy one of your jerseys just to wear on YouTube to support not just the team, but the attitude behind the team. Well, we're about to make a team for content creators. But see, so going off of the name, right? We changed it to professional independent creator, but that is the same language that every other table in this space, they would already think that they know what we're talking about, right? It's not differentiating enough. It's not, and I don't even think that these tables need to know what our table's called, because they'll just see what we're doing, and then it'll be like, oh, those are the Ogo Pogos or whatever it is.
Now, yeah.
Oh, there you go. You're the fun table. Yeah, right now we're just gonna call it the fun table.
Funtables. It's like Lunchables.
No.
Funtables.
Kat says people are drawn to the energy and want to be a part of it. Exactly. Kind of like the same thing that like calls us to create, right? Like
it's a weird thing to do, right? To want to put yourself out there and make this stuff and dedicate your time, but you can't help but want to do it.
And I think for so many of this group, if not all of them, they did not start out to turn this into a business or doing it for the money. It's like you are doing it because you can't help but talk about this thing, and then it turns into money, and then we try to build it from there, right? Again, not saying that the other way is wrong. I was in the computer club. We were all nerds. Those friendships didn't carry over into real life. Hockey vlog. Hello, friends.
Hello,
Hello,
hello.
Kyle Simpson. Steezam, second channel. Wow, Tom, it's obvious that you did shoulders this month at the gym.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Regards, Other. Hi.
I feel so tiny now.
Andre, I didn't join sports as a kid like everybody
Oh my
else did.
God.
I was that kid with a skateboard who met complete strangers who also skated and made totally new friends outside the school class
But
sphere.
that was, I mean, like skate culture is a huge thing. I never had the skills to be a skater, but fortunately I had audio video skills, and skate videos in late 90s, early 2000s were big. So that was like my in that was the group of kids that were like, they didn't fit anywhere else, so they did their thing over here, which was cool. And that was, I know there's like, it's not all kumbaya in the high school world, especially back then, but at least it was like, this is our thing. We're going to go do this thing over here.
Yeah. Room Jam, I'm late. Hey, y'all. You two looking extra buff today. Always make your own rules. Impressive Tony. Super late to the show, but hot damn. I would love to take part in this small creator thing. There's so much I don't know about how to setting myself up for success. Teach us, almighty Heather.
Almighty one.
Well, first of all, I'm definitely not saying I know how to do it. I think the value of this group is that what we would show is that there isn't one way to do this. And I feel like that is a huge part of what is missing in the overall conversation of content creation, because it's just get views, just continue to get views. Why would you stop?
One of the
as one person.
Cool things about NAB was getting to, like have multiple dinners with like the same bigger group of creators over multiple nights, and kind of have conversations, and from big concept things to little things, like literally like, oh, like how do you do affiliate link? Like, whatever, like some very small concrete thing to like a big conceptual whatever of your channel. And it didn't mean like, how do you do this thing? Because I need to do it that way. It's just like, oh, look, there's 5 people. Everyone can share what they do. And then you can kind of maybe glean something that you want to try, or even be more confident in the way that you are doing things, even if it's not what they're doing. Like, and that was all awesome. And there was no feeling of like anyone doing anything wrong. It was just like, here's what I do, here's what I do, here's what I do.
Exactly.
Very cool.
Because see, that's what it is. It's like, for some reason when you're at the wrong table, then for me, I just second guess everything. Like, all of a sudden I'm doing it wrong. Like, I need to be on LinkedIn. I need to make TikTok now. I need to do all these things or whatever. And there's people that do.
You should.
It's that. It's you should. And it's like, I'm pretty sure I'm grown up enough to know what I should do. I feel like I can make I can make my own decisions, right? So to be around these type of creators like at NAB, and there's no shoulding, but it's just like, oh, how do you handle this? Oh, that's interesting. How do you handle this? How do you handle that? So that you can just see examples of how other people are doing this weird thing that you're doing. And then that insight you can decide for yourself how you want to approach your own content creation. Yeah. I think just seeing how other people are handling it is the important part. Because right now it's just keep going until you're at Mr. Beast level. Skateboarding would not be as big as it is without those photographers and videographers, the unsung heroes of skateboarding.
Handycam with a wide angle lens. Let's go.
If I may, what I would love is lessons discussion on how to set up things on a more technical level. I feel so many of us are just figuring it out as we go based on incomplete info.
That's the thing where we feel like everyone's just reinventing the wheel over and over again. And it's like, I mean, there's no one way to do everything, but that's hearing those things from multiple people, especially people who are like up and running. You were using the business analogy before, and it's like, the person who, you're not trying to grow your one mom and pop shop into a franchise, but you do have a shop that's open and customers can come in. What are you doing to keep the doors open? That level is a very cool level to hear from.
So I have narrowed it down to the 3 I's. These are like the 3 pillars. This would totally change tomorrow. But when I initially talked about it in my video, I said that it has to be a 1-person / 2-person creator, because we are not anybody with a team, or have like management or anything like that. And I also said that because these creators that we're talking about are already up and running, right? It's like the equivalent of the business who's like already hung up their shingle. you would have to have a minimum annual revenue of $10,000 so that like you didn't just accidentally make some money on AdSense. You had to put some thought into actually sustaining that for some time. But I think like the more that we have conversations, the more feedback that comes in, I think so much of it is about the impact, the intrinsic things that drive us, that drive these content creators. I feel like it's such a big part of it, like more so than, well, at least equal to.
Sure.
So here are my 3 pillars. Oh my God, I forgot them. One is independent. So that's the like one person. The second thing is integrity. I'm writing this down because I'm remembering it right now.
Oh, I thought you had it written down.
No. Integrity. Do you want to touch on that?
You have it. It's a pillar.
I think especially now.
There's a lot, especially in the last week or so, there's a lot of conversations online about creators and integrity, lack thereof, different experiences, integrity from brands, partners, all that stuff. That's a huge part that ends up being a massive part in whatever way you approach it, however seriously you take it. No matter what, that's something you have to deal with. And the people that would fit in this group are people who value integrity highly, to the point where they likely would leave money on the table to make a decision that protects their integrity.
Yes. And then the last thing is impact. So it's not that, we start our YouTube channels to make an impact. I think some of us do that. But I think a lot of us, what we find out along the way is that we can make an impact.
Yeah,
right?
You didn't even realize it.
Yeah. So like for me, when I was vlogging, I was documenting my journey in starting a business and sharing all the frustrations of that. And early on in 2016, my biggest frustration at the time, aside from figuring out how to make money and turn this into a business, was that my parents totally were anti me trying to start my own business. They wanted me to go back and get a job. What the heck? All your friends are getting promoted. They're buying houses. They're getting married. And you are going backwards, right? And sharing those frustrations of like, how do I give myself a chance? How do I keep doing this? Even though every time I pick up the phone, I'm getting yelled at. And I can't tell you how many comments of like, I'm going through the same thing, or I'm living vicariously through you because I'm 20 years older and I decided to go back and get a job, and just being like seeing you do the thing that I didn't is like, I don't know, awesome to watch. Right. And just like, I remember sitting there alone in my room reading these comments. And I think that's when I was like, oh my God, this is the power of this platform where I can connect with people that I will never see in real life, but we have this like special thing in common. And I'll always go back to this guy, right?
It's me.
I just was on one of my many insignificant videos on my channel where I was just talking about what interested me. I was not aware of who is watching, right? Like we don't know who's watching. But this guy was watching and then left me a comment, and here we are, right? So it's not about like I did that to meet you,
No, and you definitely weren't doing that for the views or for the, like the thing about like the trend chasing and that kind of stuff. Even if there are people out there who know how to do those things to the point where they get eyeballs and attention, whatever, it seems like, at least from what I have seen, they don't get those messages and confirmations of impact. Like I have seen many different channels and creators and things who, and I will call it trend chasing, because if shorts are big, then they're going to do shorts. If challenges are big, they're going to do challenges. If whatever's big, they're going to do that and try to grow that as much as possible. And I've seen people be very, very successful in terms of numbers doing that. But you can go watch, like, here is somebody who has hundreds and hundreds of thousands of subscribers or followers, a video that is hundreds of thousands, if not 7-figure views. And you go into the comments and there's a lot of like 1 or 2 words, or it's just an emoji or something.
Which is fine.
And that's fine. I mean,
totally
that's fine. And that's the reaction.
That's the other table, right? Like, I'm not saying it's bad. It's just.
But then you have someone who can make a video that gets 200 views and, it has 7 comments or something, but all of those comments are like paragraphs. And that's different.
There's just a deeper connection there.
It's not good, bad, right, or wrong. It's different. But
yes,
the person who values that versus the other thing,
Right.
It makes sense that they might need to be at a different table than this.
Yeah, because I mean, like, man, if it was only about just like how can we get the most views, and I wouldn't be, we wouldn't be making the content that we're making. I'm sure we can come up with some better idea.
What?
Yeah, we're sitting here in our hockey jerseys trying to make an analogy between.
Are you telling me that
hockey
equalizer
and
settings for a very niche microphone that came out 5 years ago isn't fast track to the trending page?
Yeah. Are we still on? I think we're still on.
If not, we're having fun.
We're having fun. Was that it?
I think those are the main things.
Yeah. Now I'm getting hot.
I had
Go turn on the
I had
AC.
to turn down the AC before that. I was get real sweaty up in there. That was rough. But you can see the back of Heather's jersey with her name and number on there. Look at that. There you go. Why did you choose number 34?
Oh, my favorite player.
Who is? It's not my number.
Yes, my favorite player on the Firebirds is Marion Studenic. And so I'm new to hockey, right? This is only my second year paying attention to hockey. But he was the one player that actually caught my eye in terms of skating style, puck handling. Like, I would be watching the games and it was just the same player that I was like, wow, that guy's so fast. Or wow, look at the way that guy skates. And then when I noticed who it was and watched him, I was like, that is how I want to skate. Like, he's my hockey hero. I want to be like him. And so, boom, that's my number. I got to tell him that one day.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty sweet, right?
Tom made me a sign for him. I took it to a game and he gave me a puck. Yay! I was so happy. Kat says we're just hanging on every word.
Yeah, it's gripping.
Andre, not just a different table, a whole different building.
Sometimes it feels that way. But it's nice to, like, we were using the analogy when we were trying to figure this out. We were, talking about, like, pieces of a pizza or pieces of a pie.
Oh, yeah.
Pizza
It was
it's like, oh, there's plenty of slices for everyone. It's like, actually,
it's a whole separate
it's a
pizza.
different pizza, yeah. And that's cool because then there's plenty.
Yeah, exactly. Tom picked 85 because he was born in 85. Did I guess it right?
That's right. But also because nobody else... Like, it is not a popular number, and so I figured if I did change teams in the future, I wouldn't have to change numbers. Because there's some numbers that, like, every team already has. We had that on our team. People had to switch.
It's also super fun to say buck 85.
I don't know why it's fun. Buck 85.
Yeah. I debated for so long.
It's hard to pick a number. Oh, my God.
Not the number. I didn't debate at all. Oh, no. It was 34, for sure.
Well, you were going to be 4 because 4 is your favorite number. We already had 4.
But honestly, I like the connection I have with 34.
No, it's great.
Yeah. I mean the name. I wasn't sure about putting my last name on it. I thought about putting Buck, but then it'd be confusing. I don't know.
Would it?
Because my last name isn't Buck.
Well, yeah. I mean, we have a couple people on our team that have nicknames as theirs. It's, it's adult league. Like, you could put whatever you want on yours.
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, great. Now I have to, if it wasn't even an option to change it, then I wouldn't have thought about it. But then it's like coming up with a new YouTube handle. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is a big decision. I'm going to quit for this right now.
Luca DePazzi.
What's up, Luca?
Hello. Well, okay. So the next video that we're going to do is,
yeah, we talked about this list last week. We teased the list, remember?
Yeah.
We didn't talk about the list this week.
We will do it this weekend.
That'll be a video.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I feel like since we're here, let's show 2 people.
Sure.
Who do you think is a good example? So
okay.
By the way,
yeah.
Example. We have not talked to these people. We are not like, I want to be careful where it's not like, join this table.
Oh, you know what? I can tie it into our discussion today very well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. I had a thought and I forgot it.
Can I bring it up on here?
Yeah. Let me also say this. A lot of ideas have been coming in, which is so exciting. Please keep them coming. What I will say is that whatever ends up happening, I think it is very important that whoever is in charge, and I think it's going to be me because I want to like spearhead this. I really don't want it to be where there is a conflict of interest, right? So for example, one of the ideas is to one of the ideas I had was to basically be like the Colin and Samir for this type of creator, right? Where let's hear how let's hear how Tom, to use him as an example, runs his business of content creation at this level, not Mr. Beast level, but like at this level, right? And then we'll bring in another person. But it doesn't make sense for that content to be on my channel, because then you can say that I benefit because I'm getting views, I'm getting AdSense, and I don't think that is in spirit. Like it can't be for the benefit of somebody. It has to be a benefit of the group.
Yeah. It's not the clout chase crew.
Yeah, because then you can make the argument of like, you just put this guy's face in the thumbnail to get views, and it's like, I'm not saying that's wrong. We've all done that with our interviews. I'm not saying that's wrong. But I feel like with this group, because it's so much about lifting the whole group up, I feel like it really needs to be not associated with any one person's like channel.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
There you go.
It's about the group, not the...
It's about the team. See, we're just going to use a team analogy.
So here's an example. Again, this is somebody that we've not talked to or has any idea.
Have not met.
Yeah, but this is just...
They don't even know us.
From the outside looking in, this is somebody I would say fits...
Screen share.
Okay, there it is. So, I promise this is relevant. Connor Hellebuck is goalie for the Winnipeg Jets.
Can you click?
Click?
Yep.
3 years ago, he won the Vezina Trophy in the NHL, it's basically like the best goalie in the league. You win that trophy. This year, he's one of 3 finalists in the running for it again.
Oh, great.
So he's super good. And it has not been announced this year. There's a YouTube channel that I started following in 2016.
I'm so excited to announce this.
And I had no idea. This channel now has 295,000 subscribers. When I started following, I think he was at, 15,000 or something.
Okay.
It's about 3D printing. Because before I had a YouTube channel, before anything, when I was buying my first 3D printer, he had a review on... You could even find, if you search his channel for Monoprice Mini, you would find the videos that I found. Let's see. Yeah, those like 7. Yeah, like that top one up here.
This one?
Any of those. I watched all those videos many times.
I love these mini printers.
So
Sub 200.
it's not showing up on the couples table oh, there it is. Hello. So this, you might notice by the last name, happens to be Connor Hellebuck's dad. Has a YouTube channel.
Like this guy's dad.
Yeah, and it's just by coincidence because I watched. This is a video from 20. I don't know, when was this video uploaded.
2016.
2016. Obviously, he has, his channel has grown and he has a lot more stuff now. But I remember watching videos where he'd be like, hey, sometimes he mentioned like, oh yeah, my son's a goalie or whatever. And I was like, oh, like, I imagine like a 12-year-old soccer goalie or something. I was like, oh, you mean like one of the best goalies in the NHL, i.e. the world? No idea. But his channel is a perfect example of the type of thing we're talking about. So it all comes full circle.
All right.
From 3D printing to hockey to small, whatever it is, small business creator, professional independent creator, TBD name.
TBD.
Because it's just one guy. And even as his, video production skills and audio skills have improved over many years of doing this, and the channel has grown, and there's patrons and Patreon and stuff, it's just a dude in his garage.
Driven by the excitement of 3D printing.
And electronics projects,
There
because
you
the
go.
big controversy, but the drama on the channel was to start reincorporating more electronics projects and not just 3D printing. But a decision like that, for example, is an interesting one. Like, it's the same thing for my channel. I do audio video production. Sometimes I do 10 mic reviews or something in a row, and then they might do well. Okay, do people think this is an audio channel now? Like,
Yeah.
what if I do a camera-related video? Does it make sense? Does it not make sense?
Yeah. So they have a membership. They have a Patreon.
That's really...
They obviously monetize their videos. It's still the one person.
I mean, I don't know enough. I know he does electronics still as a hobby and goes to like conventions and shows. I don't know if he's retired or, I mean, I think at this point this would be a full-time income, especially with all the supporters and the size of the channel. But I don't know. Like, we haven't talked or whatever. But this is the type of thing that I think would be a good example.
There we go.
You said you were going to show one, I thought. I thought it was like a one in the other.
No, hold on. Let me see. Well, you know what? Let me look up.
It can only be a channel run by a professional athlete's dad or mom.
These are the new qualifications.
Yeah, it's very specific.
Let me look up her channel. Give me a second.
Let's see. Let's check in the. There we go. So the board begins. Okay, Andre said that's a perfect example.
Okay. I found a channel.
I'm
I
curious.
do not know this person. Book. Aha.
Oh, you were telling me about her.
Okay, this person, Anna, left me a comment on the Creator Economy is a Mess video. And their comment says, "Thank you for this honest review. What you said about older creators who came to YouTube from other areas is so true. I had to figure out everything basically on my own, and I still have no idea where to look for resources. Editors, accountants who actually understand creator economy, how to do our taxes. While I'm comfortable with my channel and my content, the back end of running my business still feels like the wild, wild west. P.S. The only people I know who care about Mr. Beast are my middle-aged school kids."
Middle-aged school kids.
Middle school.
Middle school aged kids.
I don't. Yeah, sorry.
46-year-old in the 7th grade.
But here you go. There's a clear, like, you could obviously tell what this channel is about. They do classes, it seems. Here's Patreon.
She's got a website.
Yeah. There's 132,000 subscribers.
Can you go to videos and go to oldest and just see what there is? 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
So it's all.
And I like her as an example because it's not her. She's not on camera, right? Like, she's not showing her face. I'm sure she does throughout her videos, but in terms of, I think, like, a lot of the people who watch the couples table, a lot of the people that we talk about, they show their face.
Yeah.
I mean, she is the channel, right? It's Anna. But I like the diversity. I like the diversity of, here's someone who doesn't show their face in every video. Here's someone who's a craft in the craft niche, right? And I think I would love to hear how she handles her business as a content creator.
Go back to her website real quick. Sorry, now I'm just curious. There's a thing that says brand collaborations at the top. I just want to see what's there. If it's a list or
She's done.
It's like a profile. Cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know if she had like an
ethics statement
or something like that, a guideline, a media kit. I don't know.
Yeah. So this is
really cool.
another example. Wait, where am I going here?
So that's not the full list. It's just these two people.
Yeah.
3D printing and watercolors. That's it.
We have a very, very long list. I don't think we'll go through everybody.
And there could be people on that list who would be like, I don't belong on there. Don't put me on that.
It's not about the list. It's examples of the type of creator that we're talking about. Yeah. We're not saying these people are going to join the thing or anything. I just feel like there's nowhere for the people in the middle, right?
Yeah.
The people who are, we have moved beyond getting the channel up and running and figure out who our audience is and all of, like, figure out how to do YouTube. That is a whole journey in itself. And that's an awesome part of the journey. But when you're up and running and you figured it out, but you're not at the point where you have like a team or anything, that's what we're talking about.
And sustaining that.
Yeah. Not to say that every person needs to join the club, the table.
No, but it's cool. And the thing that all the creators on the list that we put together have in common is when I watch their stuff, it kind of, even if it's not in my niche or my genre, it makes me feel like, it kind of like makes me want to go make a video.
Yeah.
It's like almost
It's
almost empowering, and it's almost like, it's inspiring, it's motivating, it's empowering, and it feels accessible.
Yeah.
And that's a really cool thing about it.
what we felt at NAB.
Yeah.
Was that, you know, it's like we're all doing it differently, but it's so cool that we're doing it at all. And just being around people doing their thing is like, wow, we all figured it out. This is so crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. So anyway, Lil Buck. So the board begins. Perfect example. Talk about niching down. Which famous hockey player is the watercolor person related to?
It's Wayne Gretzky's sister.
She's Canadian. This is true.
Honestly, yeah, it's probably like it's true. She's probably like she's in the PWHL or WPHL. I always get the P and the W backwards.
See, one of the ideas that I had was
WPHL.
I want to. These are just ideas. We have no decisions have been made, but I haven't watched PDF in so long. Philip DeFranco. It has been years since I've watched a PDF video. And right now it says here, MKBHD drama getting worse. I'm very curious about that. But
do you know anything about the MKBH drama?
Is this the
negative review
the
thing?
review thing? Killing companies?
Killing companies with negative reviews.
Well, then I was like, oh, what if someone could be the PDF of this group? Where, you know, right now there's a very big thing happening in this space with a company and handling sponsorships and all of this. And I was like, oh, I feel like that would kind of be interesting. But then it can go into like celebrity gossip very quickly, and I don't want to. Yeah, I'm not into the drama.
Into the tea.
I'm not. I mean, I'll watch the tea, but I don't want to make the tea.
You don't want to brew the tea.
Yeah. Kat, Tom and Heather need to do some research on this. All right. Well, we're at the top of the hour.
Alrighty.
So as always, it is an ongoing conversation. If you have any feedback you want to contribute, feel free to hit us up on all the things. But we're excited about it. Yeah.
Go put on some deodorant.
All right.
What's it? What's happening?
Nothing.
Oh.
I'm waiting for you to clear the table.
Oh, it's time to clear the table. So thanks for watching. We appreciate you. Hope you have a safe, happy, healthy, fun rest of your week and a great weekend.
Whoa.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye. Actually, Luca, if you're still here.
Oh, hi, I was wrapping my table. Oh, I can't even hear my mic's enough.
It says, sorry guys, the plan is to talk about them or proper podcast interview. There's no next step right now. It's still an ongoing conversation. So if you have any feedback or ideas, just like leave comments. We will keep you updated. We don't know what it's gonna look like.
Come on, Metcalf noodle on here.
Metcalf noodles. All right. Bye.